Picture the Tokyo subway. Amidst the rush, there is zero yelling and zero candies used as bribes. This is not a miracle. It is a calculated system using 3 millennial tools. While most parents fail by relying on raw instinct, the Japanese build an emotional architecture. In those first 30 seconds, a mother's silence is not indifference. It is supreme majesty. It is a power struggle won through absolute stillness. You think they do it because they are nice? Think again. They are performing the most humane brainwashing in history. In Japan, discipline is not a heavy iron chain. It is a silk garment woven directly into the soul. This philosophy is captured in a single, elegant word, Shitsuke. If you look at the calligraphy, the characters combine the symbol for body with the symbol for beauty. To the Japanese, discipline is literally the act of beautifying the body through the practice of self-mastery. While many Western parents often play the role of exhausted firefighters, constantly rushing to extinguish a tantrum after it has already exploded, the Japanese act as architects, building fireproof houses from day one. They do not ask, "Why is my child being bad?" Instead, they ask a much deeper question. What skill have I failed to teach them? It is a fundamental shift from treating surface symptoms to curing the root cause. Imagine a master artisan patiently polishing a samurai sword. Each stroke is a deliberate, repetitive movement, refining the raw steel until it glows with a lethal grace. This is not about the sting of a whip. It is about the beauty of repetition. But observing without doing anything? Sounds crazy, right? Hold on. Imagine a toddler standing at the base of a steep wooden staircase. Their knees are trembling, and their small hands grip the railing until their knuckles turn white. In most cultures, a parent would rush over, scoop the child up, and carry them to the top in 5 seconds. But in Japan, the parent does something that looks almost cold to the untrained eye. They stand back. This is the practice of Mimamoru, which translates to watching while protecting. It is the art of the productive struggle, a concept validated by extensive research from Harvard and Stanford. These studies confirm that when a brain is forced to navigate a challenge without immediate rescue, it strengthens the neural pathways for resilience. If you step in too early, you are not being a helper. You are being a thief. You are stealing the child's victory and replacing it with a hidden message. You cannot do this alone. This is where the 10-second rule becomes a parent's most powerful tool. When you see your child fumbling with a zipper or struggling to fit a block into a square hole, you do not move. You count slowly in your head. 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. Those 10 seconds of stillness are a vital investment in their future independence. You are giving them the space to prove to themselves that they are capable. But does letting a child struggle mean the Japanese are being cold-hearted? The answer lies in the next concept. To understand this steel discipline, we must first look at its surprisingly soft foundation. In many Western cultures, independence is often forced early. You might imagine an infant lying alone in a cold, blue-toned iron crib, left to learn self-soothing in the dark. But in Japan, the approach is the polar opposite. They embrace a concept called Amae, the deep, unconditional permission to depend on the love of another. This is not about spoiling a child. It is about fueling them. Look at the typical Japanese home. Instead of separate rooms, you see the entire family huddled together on a warm, yellow-toned tatami mat. This practice of co-sleeping and constant physical contact is not a sign of weakness. It is a biological necessity. Neuroscience proves that a nervous system charged with consistent emotional security regulates itself far better under stress. Think of it like a car. You cannot expect it to run a marathon on an empty tank. The Japanese formula is simple: warmth first, structure later. By allowing a child to be completely dependent early on, they provide the psychological safety needed to eventually step out into the world alone. It is this profound sense of belonging that builds the bridge to their famous self-reliance. Because when a child's emotional tank is overflowing, they do not just follow rules, they embrace them. Which leads us to a puzzling sight. Why do Japanese students spend their afternoons scrubbing floors and cleaning classrooms without a single word of complaint? It is certainly not because they are afraid of being punished. In a typical Japanese preschool, you will not see teachers barking orders or pointing fingers at messy cubbies. Instead, you see a 4-year-old child quietly wiping down a wooden table and meticulously organizing their own bag. This is not about following a set of rigid rules. It is about something far deeper: identity. Rules are external. They feel like a weight. But identity is internal. When we force a child to clean, we're simply managing a task. But when the Japanese foster an environment where a child cleans every single day as a ritual, they are building a human being. They are moving from "I have to do this" to "this is who I am." By the age of 4, these children are not just moving objects, they are affirming their place in the world. Every time a hand glides across a surface or a shoe is placed straight, the child is subconsciously saying, "I am a person who contributes. I am useful." This is a psychological masterstroke where identity invades behavior, turning a chore into a source of pride. Picture the rhythm of it: the sharp fold of a sleeve, the rhythmic scrub of a cloth, the steady placement of a backpack. It is a daily ceremony that carves self-mastery into their very bones. It sounds like a lifetime of work, but the secret is simpler than you think. You only need 3 weeks to change the DNA of your own family. Do you dare to try? Looking back at these practices, it becomes clear that discipline is never a weapon. It is a gift we build alongside our children. Perhaps deep down, we all just want to feel safe enough to fail and seen enough to try again. The Japanese secret is not about being a perfect parent. It is about being a patient architect of the soul. We often rush to fix a loud tantrum, but we forget to nourish the quiet heart. If you take just one lesson away today, let it be this: give your child the warmth of 100 blankets before you ever ask them to stand alone in the cold. Let them struggle for those vital 10 seconds today so they can lead for a lifetime. Because in the end, we are not just raising children. We are crafting the future, one quiet, beautiful moment at a time. Stop reading the theories. Stop scrolling for the perfect manual. This is your ultimatum for evolution. You can either choose to act now or accept a legacy of mediocrity. The difference between raising a warrior who owns their destiny and a victim who blames the world often lies in a single, quiet choice. It begins with a 21-day challenge, not a total overhaul, but one small ritual performed with unwavering consistency. It is the practical fusion of the 3 pillars we have explored: Shitsuke, Mimamoru, and Amae: discipline, watchful waiting, and the emotional safety net. Think about tomorrow morning. When your child accidentally knocks over a glass of milk, what will you do? If you rush to clean it, you steal their growth. If you scream, you build a wall. But if you pause for 10 seconds, just 10 seconds, and let them find the cloth themselves, you are building a soul. If this philosophy resonates with the parent you aspire to be, hit the subscribe button to join our community of architects. We are not just raising kids, we are crafting the future. I will see you in a better version of yourself. Or not.